Hey, thanks everybody. This is Kevin Brown with All Star Medical, and today we're going to figure out our tips for choosing the right scooter. So our mobility scooters, you'll see there's a big variety of different styles and variations, and we're here to help answer all those tough questions that people ask us. And the number one question is, will the scooter fit me? Okay, so there's a couple things you got to factor in. Is how tall are you? Are you 5'3" or are you 6'3"? Are you 150 pounds or are you 350 pounds, 450 pounds? Those all will be deciding factors when it comes into what type of scooter works for me. A lot of your compact scooters, they're great. I'll use this Elite Traveler right here as a good example. We're going to bring this out here and let you kind of see it. When you bring this out here, it's a very compact scooter. I'm 5'8", 210. So just to get an idea, this fits me, but I don't have a lot of leg room, okay? So if I was actually 6'3", 6'4", this would be too small for me. But if I'm my height or under, this would work perfectly, okay? You get into some of the larger scooters, they've got bigger seats. Some of your outdoor versions and things like that come in real handy. They get higher weight capacities. Like our Buzz Around LX actually has a 375 pound weight capacity. Some of the others have 300, 265. All that is going to be a deciding factor when it comes to choosing the right scooter for me. So the number two question we get is, where will I use the scooter? Okay, so am I going to use it indoor, or am I going to use it outdoor? Or am I going to use it like most people do in both areas? We have a lot of our customers that start out saying, I only need it when I go out and I'm traveling and long distances, but they end up saying, hey, I've got to have it, within the home now. So those are some factors you have to think about, where you are right now and where you will be in the future, So keep that in mind when, choosing that scooter. Your compact scooters, your small portable ones, have very good turning radius. Typically, a 3-wheel has a better turning radius than a 4-wheel. It's actually about 10 to 12 inches on average for a 3-wheel versus a 4-wheel. This one right here is a zero turn by Pride Mobility. Now, it's actually a 4-wheel mobility scooter, but it turns like a 3-wheel. You see how sharp the wheels down here actually turn? So when you look at that compared to this 3-wheel, it actually turns just as well as a 3-wheel mobility scooter does. Then you get into your outdoor scooters, which obviously this is wide enough that you can't get through a normal door frame. So this is going to be an outdoor scooter. You're not going to be able to get this. You won't even be able to get this in most stores. Speed can also come into a factor there. Some of these go 8, 9, 10 miles an hour. They're not going to let you ride that around in your local grocery stores or things like that. So keep that in mind. You also have some that have suspension, and some things like that. So keep that in mind when you're trying to find out, where will I use it? If you're kind of all terrain, you get out maybe to some parks, national parks, things like that. Suspension comes in handy because it gives a little shock absorption, goes over things a little better. So keep that in mind as well, okay? So our next question for choosing the right mobility scooter is going to be, is the scooter portable for traveling? That's probably, maybe one of the top questions that we get when, how can I transport it and what can I do? So we have right here a folding version of a mobility scooter. So this one actually auto folds. I can pick this up and take this with me. You're talking around 55 to 60 pounds on some of these. We do have some portable versions that are as light as 37 pounds. Then we have your portable scooters like this, that you take the seat off, pop the battery. There's a little lever right here that we're going to lift up, and then I can fold all of this up, and I'm down to 4 pieces for travel. Your heaviest piece can weigh around 30 pounds, but this is another portable version. This version right here will actually come apart, and so does this one. Now our Wrangler here does not come apart, so this would not be something we would consider portable. You're going to need a trailer, or something like that just to tote this thing around. You can't even use a vehicle lift or mobility lift for a device like this, but the other ones you could. So these are your portable ones, all right? So our next question that we'll have is, what is the distance that some of these scooters will go? This is gonna vary. Your manufacturers typically go by mileage. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of mileage because, for instance, this goes 13 miles, okay? This one right here shows that will go 18 miles on one charge. I've been doing this almost 24 years and I've never had a customer go 13 miles or 18 miles, not even remotely close. Typically, you may get in that 3 to 5 mile range, and that's an extreme version of it. But what you got to factor in is how much that individual weighs and the terrain that they're driving on. Those are your key factors. So an example would be if you're on a flat plane and you weigh 150 pounds, you're probably going to get that full 13 mile range, maybe even the 18 mile range. But if you're 290 pounds and you're going up and down hills, you're probably going to cut that in half. What we like to tell people is it's more about how long you're going to be able to use the device. And in that case, we tell people it's on average of about 8 hours. Again, you could get 10 or 12, you may get 6. The weight and the terrain do dictate that. What we always tell our customers is to always have their charger with them. Have it in the basket, have it in a pouch, have it with them that if their battery got low and they were out longer than they thought they would be, all they have to do is plug it into a regular outlet. So it's not a big deal. It's very easy to do. And, say you're catching lunch or something like that, you could have it plugged in for a good 30 minutes and get you a little bit more charge. It's not going to be the proper charge, but you're going to get to where if you need to get back to the car or something like that, it's going to be enough to do things like that. So just keep that in mind when it comes to that. All right. One of the other questions we get is, what do I do about storing my mobility scooter? So when it comes to that, people store their scooters everywhere. A lot of people use them within the homes. Some people will actually keep them in the vehicle and leave them in there. When that happens, we suggest that you take the actual battery pack off and keep this portion right here with you, okay? Keep it in the house because you can actually charge the battery in most of these portable units just by taking the battery off and charging it right here at this port. So we tell most people that, hey, you can leave the rest of the device in your car. You can leave it in the garage. Just keep in mind weather permitting, if it's really, really cold or it's extremely hot, that can factor into how your batteries are doing. So we recommend if you're gonna do something like that, keep the battery in a climate controlled area. And if you're storing it, again, these can disassemble, break down, but you still need to charge your batteries on a regular basis. A lot of people think storing it, they'll go 6 months without charging their batteries. Well, more than likely your batteries are probably going to die and you're gonna have to get new ones. They need to be charged. Most of your manufacturers will say minimum twice a week if they're not being used. But keep that in mind and hopefully that helps you down the road. Have a great day.